Hey guys, what is going on? NGS back again for another video, and I've got a very special thing to bring you today. As you guys know, recently I completed Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, and I told you that I'd be doing some sort of review, discussion, extravaganza, hoo-ha, something like
Hey,
that, since it's been a while since I've done it. Well, excuse you, I was going to introduce you, but you're already coming in here and freaking distracting, and
sorry, my bad.
god dang it. Anyway, so I'm gonna let this man introduce himself.
All right, I am Jamal, aka Dunte86, or Dunte60. That's my gaming channel, and I'm a really dedicated Kingdom Hearts fan, unlike some people here. But we're not gonna get into that yet. I'm done.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, I got the game when it came out, and I kind of beat it within that week or two. And some people didn't finish it until almost a year later. But yeah, it's neither here or there.
Yeah, you bet it's neither here nor there. So anyway, my good friend here, Jamal, we've been talking a lot over Skype. You know, we are really big Kingdom Hearts fans, and I thought, hey, what better way to discuss the ending for Dream Drop Distance, overall thoughts of the game, and looking forward into the future of Kingdom Hearts, than with one of my good old Kingdom Hearts buddies. Does that sound good to you, man? Does that
It
sound good to you?
does. Even see, we were discussing stuff earlier. I got some pizza delivered, and my delivery man heard us talking. Was like, "Hey, you're a Kingdom Hearts fan?" Like, hell yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
No matter where you go, our hearts are connected. And I know that sounded
Uh,
cheesy as
but
fudge, but it
it
fits!
works.
It
It
fits!
works.
It fits! Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way. So, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Overall, when it came to the game, I gotta say, this was the one title that I have probably been the most excited for when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. What about
I
you?
agree, especially going into it knowing that this is like the one that leads directly into Kingdom Hearts 3, and when they're actually going to become Keyblade Masters. Like, yeah, gotta play that one. It's going to be awesome.
Especially ever since like I heard that when they announced it, it was all with the 3DS hype. I remember it was like what 2010. They announced like 30 zillion games to 3DS, which sadly we didn't get to like a year
Yeah,
later and such.
Nintendo fashion.
Nintendo fashion, all that shebang bang. But I don't know, there was just something about it. I think it was probably the fact that after playing through Birth by Sleep and learning a lot about the story, I was like, oh my god, I want to play the next game. And when they said that, you know, you're playing as Sora and Riku this time, but you're going forward into the
Yes.
story, I was just like,
It's like
whoa.
finally moving forward and not doing all these side stories. Though Birth by Sleep was awesome. That was a good one to set up things that happened before the first one.
Moving right along. So yeah, there was a lot of hype towards Dream Drop Distance, and honestly, I gotta say, it lived up to all the hype, in my
I agree.
opinion.
I loved every second of it. The game was awesome. And it was the first one in a while after like Kingdom Hearts 2 that you had two party members to go with. But this one gave you a little Pokemon type deal where you had to catch them all and mix and match with different party members. And I really like how they did the whole Dream Meter system. It was unique and customizable and cool. I liked it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the inclusion of Dream Eaters, I was sort of kind of skeptical from the
I
beginning
agree.
of it because I'm thinking to myself, you know, is this really? I mean, yeah, they're mixing it with this Pokemon-esque style thing where you're going and catching these monsters and you got to train them. And we've seen tons of games that have been doing that in the past. And one of the games that I'm playing recently, Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the
Yeah.
White Witch, that game has a similar system to this. Even though it came out beforehand. But yeah, this system has been really prominent in a lot of RPGs, and thankfully in Kingdom Hearts, and you know, on a side note, Ni no Kuni, they all feel really different and unique, and you're able to customize these creatures. And the more time and effort you spend
The
into
better they
them,
are.
the more powerful they become. And that's definitely one of the more interesting aspects for the gameplay because, like you said, when it comes to the party system, after playing through, you know, Birth by Sleep, I was kind of missing the fact that you had party members. It was all pretty much a solo
Yeah.
based thing. You know, I did miss Donald and Goofy and the respective characters from whatever
Still
world,
miss
but in
Donald
this
and
one,
Goofy.
yeah, of course. You can't. It's always Donald and Goofy. Even in worlds where you got to have the specific allies, it's always Donald and Goofy. Somehow they don't die that quick. I don't know. That's
Though in the
just been my
beginning of Kingdom
experience.
Hearts 1, Donald was a little bitch and he died all the time. Once he learns
Oh,
Cure, he's
God,
good
yeah.
though.
Yeah, once you learn, I think, if I remember correctly, you get Cure at
Tarzan. Yep.
Tarzan's world, right? Yeah, so make sure you go through Tarzan's world to get that cure before you do anything else. So
I want
the inclusion of the Dream Eaters was really interesting, and of course that music that they played whenever you were playing with them was pretty awesome.
But honestly, me being a music person, the best world with the music was the Fantasia world. Riku's.
Oh,
Riku's was better.
the Symphony of Sorcery.
Yes.
That in my opinion is the most. I don't even know what to say. Like the amount of effort that just went into that world
Yeah,
alone. You're playing a
it was
musical.
pretty awesome.
It's fantastic.
Good.
It was fantastic. Whoa.
Before we move on from the Dream Eater stuff, I want to
Yeah.
talk about one other game that does the monster stuff really well. Final Fantasy 13 too.
Ah. I thought you were talking about something else. I thought you were talking about, like you said, Monster. So I'm like, oh, here we go. He's going to talk about Monster
No.
Hunter and how I need to play. But ooh.
You do, but no, I don't want to be a bit of a troll.
Yeah, of
That's
course. Of course, Final Fantasy 13 too. Which
But it does have the monsters. You got, that's a third party member.
Yeah.
Square Enix doing good things with the game that nobody wanted 2 sequels to.
damn, but we're getting 2 sequels to. And now you can play as Lightning with Cloud's outfit. Yay.
Further slapping people in the face saying, no, you're not getting a remake.
You're
Final
not getting a
Fantasy
remake.
VII.
You're getting just the outfit. If you want a game remade, let's remake Final Fantasy 9. Zidane Tribal. Awesome.
That'd be cool. Moving on.
Moving right along, yeah. Not getting sidetracked again. You see, and for once, it's not me. It's not me. It's him. It's him. So, moving forward from the Dream Eaters thing, more focusing on the gameplay mechanics, I liked how this time around, everything, it does feel like a Kingdom Hearts game. But the one thing that I really do hope that they continue in the future, flow motion.
It looked like in the trailer of Kingdom Hearts 3, there was a little bit of that where he was jumping off of walls and kind of skateboarding or surfing on the Heartless that were there. It looks like they might try to keep some of that in there. They need to, because that made battling so fluid, and it was great.
It was all
I really loved it.
everywhere in your face, back and forth, and every single time. Like, it just, when it came to the battles, if you go back and play some of the other Kingdom Hearts games, it did sort of kind of get repetitive in the sense that all you're doing is smashing X or whatever and then using your fire. But with this one, you actually had to be somewhat creative, and you're just bouncing off the walls. And there was some, I'm not going to say strategy in it, because it's like strategy in Kingdom Hearts games, unless you're fighting the bosses. What the hell?
A little bit, but not much.
Yeah, I mean, it just definitely added something different, because the difficulty of this game, compared to the other titles, was just, oh, damn.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
There's definitely big spikes in that game.
Mainly towards the end.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that portion a bit later. But I gotta say, on a gameplay side of things, I think that as we get forward into every single game, they always take a little bit of what they learned in the last title. You can definitely see a lot from Birth by Sleep in this entry.
Yes, so much. That's a good thing, because Birth by Sleep was awesome.
Indeed it was. On a side note, Birth by Sleep, oh my god, that is the most depressing Kingdom Hearts game I have ever played.
Yeah. No happy endings.
There's nothing, like, the second you start the game, it's like, oh my god, these are the guys that I saw in the trailer, like, back when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. Oh my god, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
By the time you end the game, oh man.
But no, see, even then, like, when you watch the that trailer that they did for Birth by Sleep when it first came out, and you saw them all fighting, and dude got frozen, and the girl got beat up, like, dang, what's good coming from this? And then you get to that point in the game, it's like, oh, it's about to happen. Oh, what's gonna happen now?
It's depressing, man. There's no happy endings. And then you go to Dream Drop Distance, and Sora's just all happy and
Yeah. It was Birth by Sleep was definitely more of the heavy, darker version of any other Kingdom Hearts games.
Oh god.
It had a lot more of the darker. It was a darker story. It really was, but it was a good thing. That and 358 also had a little bit of a darker story.
Oh, that was the game that just made me cry.
Yeah, it was sad.
It was really sad. Did I cry? No, I got major feels. I got hit with the feels, but I don't cry at many video games, I've noticed.
Walking Dead.
No, didn't cry at that. Didn't cry at Walking Dead. Didn't cry at Last of Us. Didn't cry at
Kingdom Hearts. One tear for the Walking Dead. I did.
Oh, man, but that's just me. Maybe I don't cry at games. I get major feels, but hopefully someday I'll see a game where I really do cry. Hopefully in the future. I've noticed this. I have not gone back and played any of the recently released Kingdom Hearts games. I haven't touched Birth by Sleep. I haven't touched this one, and I probably won't go back and play with them for a while until Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. You know, because
Yeah.
you're just hit with this. I mean, with the older games, I can easily go back and replay them like whenever. But with these games, you're just hit with so much in terms of story
Man.
that you just gotta step away to take it all in and not want to go back into it. You know.
Seriously, it's just so much going on since Birth by Sleep. I mean, 358 had good things happening. It kind of explained who Roxas was because you really didn't get to know him at all. Chain of Memories, it's there. But the one for me, what I say when anybody asks me about the series, the ones that they have to play: Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and Birth by Sleep, and now Dream Drop Distance. Those are the 4 that you must play. The other ones, you can read up on them if you have to. But, I mean, it's just like so much of the meat and potatoes you've been getting from mainly Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance. Because 1 and 2, they give you things, but those 2 on the other ends, they give you so much more detail and information. Birth by Sleep lays the foundation. Dream Drop Distance, it's leading up to something epic.
And you can definitely tell. One of the things, though, that Jamal here kind of joked about in the beginning of the video was how I had not spent as much time in Dream Drop Distance as I should have.
Yes, and I've been wanting to talk about stuff forever. It's like I hadn't beat it yet. Finish the game.
I remember this. I remember I bought the game. I started playing it for a bit the first couple days, and then I did not touch the game for 2-3 months. I got back into it towards the end of last year, and then towards the month of January, it was like non-stop Kingdom Hearts. Non-stop. I was playing it every single day. Every time I had a break at school, I would be playing it there. And then I got to the final world, and I didn't play it.
Stopped. It's like, dude, you're there. Finish it.
And mind you, this was back in January. I didn't beat the game till last month.
Shame on you.
Shame on me. Shame on me. Because Jamal here kept saying, excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue. My bad.
Yeah, okay then. Because Jamal here, every time we Skype, this guy's like, so dude, how about that Kingdom Hearts? And I'm like,
and I get angry every time. Like, dude, you don't know how much you're missing out. Like, how epic is the story going to get in the last world? Like, dude, finish the game. Everything happens in the last world. Finish it. I don't know. Finish the game.
Well, I finally did. I finally finished the game. And it's a perfect time to segue into the story spoilers. Oh, God.
Spoilers.
So spoilers right here. If you have not finished Dream Drop Distance, if you have Dream Drop Distance and you're stuck on the final world for like a good 5 months, not out of difficulty, but out of, like me, don't watch this.
I would actually say for Dream Drop Distance or Birth by Sleep, because there's some things that in order to discuss the end of this, we have to discuss some things from Birth by Sleep as well. So,
of course.
Spoilers.
So spoilers either way. We're going to start a bit going back into Birth by Sleep, and then we'll go back into Dream Drop Distance or forward or whatever this timeline. Whatever. Yes. So with Birth by Sleep, Jamal.
Mm-hmm.
In Birth by Sleep, towards the end of the game, shit happened.
So much shit happened. Like I was talking about that epic battle that it showed in the trailer. Yeah. After that, so much stuff happened, man.
You would think that that'd be the finale of the game. But when they said, we're giving you through 3 different perspectives, at first you're like, yeah, how different could they be? No. You gotta play through the finale for every one of those characters. Terra, Ven, and Aqua. Preferably in that order.
I played, I think, Ven, Terra, Aqua. Aqua needs to be last. Aqua needs to be last.
Aqua has to be last. But I did Terra, Ven, and Aqua. And oh my god, like every single thing that you thought you knew in the Kingdom Hearts universe, after seeing what happens at Birth by Sleep, it's done.
Yeah, it's done. Everything that you have, the preconceived notions that you got from Sora, happy-go-lucky, haha, no. No.
Everything you thought you knew about Roxas. No.
No.
Everything you thought you knew about Xehanort, Ansem, the Wise's apprentice. No. And then when you actually see that, and then go back and play the older games, you're like, oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah, just so much. Would you like to talk about what happens with Terra?
Okay, so as you guys know from Birth by Sleep, Master Xehanort's entire plan among this everything with forging the Keyblade with Ven and Vanitas and all that stuff. His whole plan was to get control of Terra and his body and such. So, as Master Ericus was fighting Terra and have the whole duking it out and all that stuff, Terra ends up getting controlled by Master Xehanort. He's too powerful for him. And what goes in that situation, who he becomes Terranord, which is sort of a fan name for the fusion of both of them. Master Xehanort still has consciousness, however. So he succeeded. And it wasn't until Master Xehanort looks over and he sees that Terra's spirit becomes his armor, and the armor starts fighting. And obviously the armor kicks the crap out of, Terranort
Yes.
and such. But then when you actually see that armor towards the end, how it sort of reclines and it has its keyblade like that, you think back to
Yeah.
Final Mix, and you're like,
Yep.
oh my
Yo.
god.
He was fighting Terra in the armor, and oh shit.
And I don't
Yeah.
know if you've at least seen the gameplay and such, but if the first time you fight him, you go with him, Terra's armor, the lingering sentiment, actually thinks you're Terranort in that situation. And then he's like, oh, wait, after the fight, that's not him. Never mind, let me go back. Sleep. But, man.
No, I never noticed that. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just insane and such. So, with Terra's situation, Terra's effed either way.
He's still alive, still kicking.
He's still somewhat. He's there.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Because didn't it say something about it's 2 hearts in there?
Yeah,
in his body,
I believe,
and he's fighting for it. He's fighting for control because towards the end of, like in the special chapter that you have to go through, you see there's a constant struggle between both of them where Terra's still coming out at some points and can be reached, but then Xehanort takes control. So he's still in there fighting and not just locked away. But I don't know. It's just how are they going to wake him up to where he can actually come back?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It's crazy.
So you want to take some time to talk about what happened to Ven?
Yes. Ven, actually, I chose him. That was my favorite character in the game. But Ven was he is the key to making the key blade. If you know I'm doing this, if you played the game, it's not KEY, but the symbol key.
Yeah.
The Keyblade, and that's like some kind of big epic thingy that if they can use that, he can. I forgot exactly what will happen. I remember reading all the reports and everything, but it's big and powerful and whatever.
I believe
that's
it was
what
to
they
open.
need.
I believe it was to open Kingdom Hearts. I think.
It's the real Kingdom Hearts. That's right.
Yeah.
Because that's the main thing. They've had these other Kingdom Hearts doors or whatever, but with the Keyblade, it'll be the actual real Kingdom Hearts. That's what they're trying to open. But
my whole life is a lie. I thought we sealed Kingdom Hearts. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, he was fighting against his dark side, Vanitas, because Xehanort actually pulled that out of him. And I remember when he pulled off that mask, that was kind of like, what the fuck?
Oh god, yeah.
Looked like Sora. But anyways.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm,
yeah. Jesus.
That was crazy. But he pulled out the dark side and trying to bring out and make the light side, which was Ven, trying to make that more of a make him more powerful, pretty much. And the whole game, all the what were they called? The Unversed.
The Unversed, yes.
All the Unversed were coming from Vanitas the whole time, and no matter how many times you killed them, he can bring them back because he was just the darkness that was inside his heart. And once they finally fused together again at the end of the game, the Keyblade was there. So once again, Vanitas took control because he was stronger than Ven. He took control of his body when they fused together. But on the inside, they had a fight. And in order to get rid of the Keyblade, Vin had to sacrifice himself and kill that dark side of his heart. So and that leaves his heart incomplete because you have to have light and darkness in order to be, you know. So they killed off Vanitas, which leaves Vin as an empty shell because he only has half a heart now. So now he's just sitting there asleep in a lifeless body, which is called birth by sleep for a reason. And
Sorry.
then moving on to Aqua and the finale, which will actually be a good segue to Dream Drop Distance, while we're talking about sleeping too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Nomura. Just like he literally Nomura could advertise the next Kingdom Hearts game just by saying one word, and already people will come up with suspicions on what that word means. Because
Yeah,
like
seriously.
sleep, dream, like if you notice in like all the trailers, they have like just sometimes just words. Like I remember specifically for Dream Drive Distance, it just said sleep, dream, and then something in dreaming. I'm like, oh God, what does this stuff mean? And then you actually play
Yeah.
the game. It's like, whoa.
Well, yeah. Seriously, after playing Birth by Sleep and then Dream Drop Distance, you're like, whoa, snap. There's some stuff going on. The issue with Terra and Ericus when Xehanort, pretty much he is a puppet master. Like,
Oh God, yeah, of course.
when he manipulated Terra to fight against Ericus and defeat him. And if you know in the game, Aqua was the only one who became the Keyblade Master, and Terra didn't because he didn't have control of the darkness in his heart. But Ericus said something about if there's any issues or whatever, you can lock away the world or whatever with his Keyblade. So she ended up doing that to save Vin, like I was talking about, how he is asleep and everything, just on his little shell, not really alive anymore. And if you looked at some of the final mix stuff, you did see some armor and stuff down there, which we'll talk about that later too. Do you remember that? Yeah. There was some armor and stuff downstairs with, I think it was Xehanort. He had a little chamber that he would go down into. So when you are in the land of departure, she went and had her Keyblade, Erica's Keyblade, I mean, did the little thing that he told her to do, and it changed the land of departure into a world that we all know about from playing Chain of Memories, to Castle Oblivion, to protect Vin from Xehanort so that he couldn't get him to get the Keyblade. He is in the center of Castle Oblivion, and the only person who can make it through Castle Oblivion without losing their memory and going crazy is Aqua. And that's the only way they can get to Vin. Which, you know, that's all fine and good. Yeah, she's a Keyblade master. She can get there. After she had to beat him, actually her and Terra, because she was still talking to him, bringing
Yeah.
actual Terra back out. And when she beat Xehanort, or Terranort, if you want to call him that, he falls down, and in a last-ditch effort to save himself from her, he was going to put himself into the realm of darkness. Now, what Aqua did was dove in there and put her armor, had her armor to carry the body of Terranort back out of the world of darkness as a portal was closing. Now, what I thought is, why did she do that? All she had to do was, you know, how they rolled their Keyblades? It's like, why don't you just ride your freaking Keyblade, grab him, and fly out? But instead, she did the little armor thing and shot the armor out with him, and she just kept falling down. But whatever, that's why she's lost in the realm of darkness now.
And so that's basically the bunt of Birth by Sleep. Basically, everybody other than Xehanort is fucked.
Mm-hmm. He's the only one who's still kicking.
Ven is in Castle Oblivion as a lifeless husk. Terra doesn't know who he is. Well, now we know what happened to him. And Aqua is trapped in the realm of darkness. And damn, she's been there for a good, 10, 11 years?
Yeah, by the time Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, depending on how much time that's going to be, probably about 14 years or something like that.
Jesus Christ, my God. So by the end of Birth by Sleep, all of the three chosen Keyblade warriors that we've been hearing about from years since like 2005, 2006, all of those guys are fucked. Now, we've given you the backstory about what happened in Birth by Sleep. Why would this hold so much importance towards Dream Drop Distance? Because everything that you have played, everything that you know, all comes full circle in Dream Drop Distance.
Yes.
Everything.
It's all been planned.
Everything has been planned. You would expect all of this stuff to come full circle in 3, which is what I was thinking. I thought Dream Drop Distance would, give us more information, and all of this stuff comes full circle in 3. So we're just like, whoa, no. Kingdom Hearts 3 is simply the finale to Dream Drop Distance.
Seriously. Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep. Like I said, Birth by Sleep Foundation, Dream Drop Distance. Oh my God, it builds so much and connects so many things. It's just crazy. Like the whole Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep thing. We'll get to that in a little bit, but once you play through Dream Drop Distance, they're both taking their exams so they can become Keyblade Masters. Only one of them succeeds in becoming a Keyblade Master, and the other one doesn't. Would you like to tackle who makes it?
To no surprise to anybody, I should hope not, Riku ends up becoming a Keyblade Master, which I kind of saw from the beginning. Something in me said that, nah, it'd be too easy for Sora to be named Keyblade Master. I mean, after all the stuff that he went through, he's the chosen one, guardian of light, all that stuff. You're the one who opened the door and such. I'm thinking to myself, naming him Keyblade Master, really? Because if you're actually looking at the character of Riku and the shiz that he's went through, Riku has not had a happy life.
No, not at all.
He's had the worst year. Like, the worst year. All this stuff, when you think about it, happened within like a year and a half. Yeah. Worst year. Yeah, you would think that after Kingdom Hearts 2, how he just the darkness out of him. He was no longer in the realm of darkness, all that stuff. He could have used the powers. You would think that, good stuff's about to happen. No. No matter what, darkness is never going to leave you. It always goes back to what Xehanort said. You should never look at darkness as a bad thing. Darkness should be something that if you could control it, then yeah, it's a good thing.
And see, that's how we got Terra as well.
That's how we got Terra. But I think the difference between Riku and Terra, which is something that we've been talking about for a while, is that if Terra was so easily manipulated and having Xehanort take over him, why wasn't it the same for Riku? Why was Riku able to expulge the darkness not just once, but twice? Twice. He was able to get rid of it. And I think this comes back to Terra was just so... He was just so out there, like in Birth by Sleep. If you've noticed it, like, comparison between Riku and Terra, Riku at least had Sora. There's always that constant. No matter where you go, when people think they'll turn to the darkness, there's always Sora. Sora is like the catalyst that everyone is connected to. He's the one who sets things in motion. And with Riku, he always had Sora, no matter what.
And as well, in Birth by Sleep, every single time Terra got angry and got stuff, he would always just go to the dark stuff. Always go into the darkness further and further and further. And, that's the same thing that Riku did in the first game. But, Chain of Memories has just a little bit of relevance here. If you remember at the end of Chain of Memories, they ask him, which path is he going to take? The path to light or the path to darkness? Riku said, I'm taking neither. I am going down the path of twilight. He wants to be right there in the middle, so he's not too far on one side and not too far on the other. I think that's how he learned how to control it, because after that, that's when he had his eyes covered or whatever. In Kingdom Hearts 2, whenever he took off the blindfold, that's when he was using the full darkness or whatever. And I don't, it's just weird that it's just the fact that he didn't choose one side or the other as Terra did, because he learned from his mistake in the first one. So I think that's what gave him more control over it. So I don't know.
It was definitely an interesting contrast between the two. Riku he starts out like, oh man, I'm just all about this darkness, but I've learned my ways. But at the same time, you notice it, I'm kind of glad that they didn't do that, because it gives something more interesting, because if Riku was just always light,
Yeah.
regardless, it kind of be, after Kingdom Hearts 1, it's like, but I like how they had him at the, the crossroads point where in either situation he could definitely as easily go back into it, which is what you sort of see in Dream Drop Distance. Sort of, you definitely see that. Ansem, it's not even at this point. It's not even worth calling them Ansem, since they're all freaking Xehanort at the end of the day.
Yeah, seriously.
That's the one thing you learn in this game. In Kingdom Hearts, everybody is Xehanort, and if they're not Xehanort, they're Sora. That's it.
He's
It's
that's
just
the thing that they're trying to do.
that's basically what it is. You learn a lot about some characters that you thought you wouldn't be hearing about again. Mainly Organization 13. You would think that, all
They
these
were
guys
gone.
are dead. No, they're not.
But yeah, that's another thing. When the Heartless and the Nobody have been defeated, the body and the hearts come back together, and they revive the original being, which means Xehanort's coming back. Well, is back.
He is back. He's
Because
been back.
He does definitely show up in Dream Drop Distance.
Basically speaking, Terranort, his Heartless, Ansem, his Nobody, Xemnas, they were both defeated. At this point, it's like they're not, because they really aren't. I love how it's like when it comes to Xehanort, he ain't playing by anybody's rules. Like, yeah,
Nah, he does what he wants to do.
he does what he bends the rules. Even Nomura is like, I can't control him. It's like literally because my Heartless, he's still around, Ansem, my Nobody, he's still around, Xemnas, and I'm still around too. So it's like, no.
That time travel though.
The time travel. Speaking of which, there's a lot of time travel in Dream Drop Distance. I'm seeing a lot of parallels between Square Enix and Final Fantasy 13 too. There's time travel. There's animal creatures. Jesus Christ. The more and more. You see, you had to bring that up, man. Now I can't get it out of my head. Dang. But speaking of which, you learn a lot of things about characters who you thought you never see again, but you also learn a lot of interesting things that make you go, damn, Xehanort's effed up. Case in point, Nobodies have hearts.
Yeah.
It all makes sense to everyone who's been following the game, but god damn it, why would you tell them this? They had hearts. They all had hearts.
And Xehanort has a plan for these hearts.
Ever since Kingdom Hearts 1, this world has been connected. That one guy in the freaky dingy yellow-brown coat, he's been starting this from the beginning.
Yeah, that was him.
That was him. And every single time he time travels, I believe it was his body gets destroyed.
Something like that.
His body gets destroyed, his heart gets left behind. It's something like that. And the only way he's able to time travel is if a part of him is existing in that particular place that he's going to. Mm-hmm. So basically, Master Xehanort has been planning this shiz for a while. Jumping back and forth in timelines and talking to people and fooling around and all that stuff. Messing up people's lives. Nobody could have a happy ending.
But why is he doing this, Chris? Why?
Why is he doing this? Because he wants to start the Keyblade War. And why does he want to start the Keyblade War, Jamal?
But how can he start the Keyblade War? He's only one person.
Is he really one person? Is he
really? Not what he wants. 13, really? She'll fight against, was it the 7?
13. I like to say this because it sounds cooler. 13 Harbingers of Darkness and 7 Warriors of Light. But it's basically 13 Darkness versus 7 Light. Mine's cooler! But yeah, 13.
He wants 13 of himself. That's what's the whole point of Organization 13. And he wanted one of them to be a Keyblade wielder, which is why he was trying to get Shion to take over Sora and craziness. And then the whole point of this right here, the cover of the game. This is the box for this. But
oh, yeah, speaking of which, I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but both of us, we got our Mark of Mastery editions, day ones right here. Good stuff.
But if you look at this, and the tagline on the back of the box, I believe, is darkness turns to light and light goes to darkness or something like that.
Yeah.
And you see Mickey going down trying to save Sora, and Riku is just going up. That really does mean something because Riku, he does become the Keyblade Master, and he just continually sees oh, I'm not that bad of a person in this game, because he's always down on himself, thinking I can't do this because the darkness is in my heart, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Sora, being gung-ho for the light, gets blindsided, and they kind of put him to sleep
Okay.
and are trying to take over his body and make him become a Xehanort as well, because they need a Keyblade wielder, like
Mm-hmm.
one of the chosen Keyblade wielders. They need that. That's why they've been trying to get him or Vin for a very long time.
Yep.
Hmm. Because that's another thing we didn't talk about with Vin. When in the beginning they did rip out that darkness, and he was a lifeless shell at that point in the beginning of the game as well. And the reason that they are connected and why Roxas looks like Vin is because Sora, as a little kid, somehow heard him calling and asking for help. And Sora's like, "Yeah, I'll help you." And they're connected. They have heart connections
Yeah.
somehow.
He.
And
I
that's
think
why,
he let Ven rest in Sora's heart. I believe something like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
So that's why when you see Roxas, they look just alike and
Mm-hmm.
they're connected. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they want to have a Keyblade wielder in that 13 as well, the 13 Xehanorts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy.
It
And
is.
that's the thing. He wants to start this Keyblade war, and it's going to be 13 Xehanorts versus the 7 Keyblade wielders, which is going to be Sora, Riku,
Mickey.
leave that one for last,
Mickey.
Mickey, and then the 3 others, which are Aqua, Terra, and Finn. And then who's the last one going to be? Actually, that does bring up a good question of who the last one's going to be.
Yeah, it does, because if you've
Because
played
there's
Dream Drop
2 more.
Distance, yeah,
There's 2 more.
there's two
If
more.
you play Dream Drop Distance, there is Axel or Lee. He's learning to use a Keyblade. And the special ending, which nobody saw this as a surprise because in Kingdom Hearts 2, you saw it happen as well.
I know, right? Yeah.
Um, I forgot the girl's name.
Kyrie?
There it is. I'm sorry. I'm horrible.
Oh, God. Damn, man.
Yeah. How can I forget that? They say her name so many times. Kyrie!
Kyrie! Open your eyes! Oh.
But yeah, they go and send Riku off to go and find Kyrie to learn how to use her Keyblade. So there's 2 extra Keyblade wielders. Well, 1 extra.
That makes 8.
That does make 8. We'll see. But yeah, basically, the Dream Drop Distance goes through and sets all of this up. It's like, yeah, we're going to have this happening. But actually, now that I think about it, maybe they won't get Terra back. And
Yeah, I was about to say that.
that might be it, because they have to get him somehow, and that's not going to be easy. So yeah, but let's talk about why the Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep are really together. As I said earlier, Finn is in Castle Oblivion sleeping. That's what they say. They said he's sleeping, just sitting there in lifeless shell. No one can get to him except for Aqua, who is sealed away in darkness. And at the end of Dream Drop Distance, Sora is in that same sleep state because they got him. They pretty much got him to where they wanted him to get him to turn him into one of the Xehanorts. So they saved him, or whatever. Mickey and Riku saved him, got him out of there. But he was still asleep in the real world. So it's like, what do we do? Oh, that's why Riku became the Keyblade Master. And what happens with Riku being a Keyblade Master? Go ahead, Chris.
When Riku became the Keyblade Master, he was able to dive into Sora's heart, which is actually something you don't learn until the end of the game. This entire time, you were under the belief that they were both doing the Keyblade exam, but they were like sort of in like alternate universes sort of deal, which is why you when you saw in both of their respective worlds, you saw like pieces of things change, like because if Riku did something, if Sora did something. But you learned that actually Riku is a Dream Eater for Sora.
Oh, yo, I just remembered something about that.
Oh my!
I just remembered something because we were talking about the Xehanort thing where he has to be there and everything.
Yeah.
Because they were both. It started off. They were both going to do their exam.
Yeah.
But
he sabotaged.
He sabotaged it. He was there when they did the little Ursula fight in the beginning. He was there and messed stuff up. And then when they saw that just how things work and Sora being the chosen person or whatever, when he was starting to get into that sleep thing and they were manipulating him, trying to put him all the way to sleep, Riku became a Dream Eater to protect him. I just remembered that.
Yeah.
That Xehanort, man, you a bastard.
I told you, this guy is everywhere. He's everywhere at the same time. He's not everywhere. He's everywhere. Just think twice, man. Just think twice where you go. But
Yeah.
Riku, back on point, Riku dived into Sora's heart to save him, to pull him out. Now, who else did that exact same thing? Who also happened to be a Keyblade master?
Well, not a master, but
Hey.
he's not. He's the master, but still, Vin. The same thing is with him. When I learned that, and that's what Riku is gonna have to do to dive down and pull him out of that sleep in the darkness and everything. Like, yo, that's what Vin is doing, and so Riku is gonna have to go and save Vin. But how they gonna get to Vin when they can't get to Aqua, who's the only person who can get there? It's just so much going on. Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's that those are the questions that definitely need to answer. That definitely need to be answered in the next game because they are setting so much shiz up, and at the same time, it's going to be the finale because it's going to be the 13 Darkness versus the 7 Light, and it's all going to pretty much lead up to a giant Keyblade war. You know, everyone saw this coming ever since they said Keyblade War.
And the Keyblade graveyard and all that.
Yep, in the Keyblade graveyard, Xehanort's going to try to forge the real Keyblade this time because he believes that with these, it didn't work with Ven and Vanitas, but now it can work with these guys versus these guys. Now, I wonder if there is some significance in the number 20 because 13 and 7, I don't know, it's like the little things, even though it may seem so obvious, like, no, it's not going to mean anything. You never know.
You never know.
You never know what could go on with Nomura. But I just got to say, when you actually sit down and piece these things together from all the other games, it's
crazy. It really is crazy.
It's just, oh my God, man.
I mean, I thought about that when I played Birth by Sleep. Like, whoa, look at all this stuff that I didn't know was already going on. You play Dream Drop Distance. Like, whoa.
It's like, no.
But the question remains: what's going to happen with Terra?
Nobody knows.
He's part of this whole thing as well.
It's just
you know they're going to save him, but how?
Those are the questions, man. How is all this going to happen? How are they going to get back into Castle Oblivion without losing their memories? Maybe Riku might pull something, and maybe he'll go down there.
See, the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3. Sora picks up Ericus's Keyblade, and he looks at it like, I don't know what this is. When I saw that, I'm like, yo, can he get? But he can't get to the place to use it to.
It's these questions, man. These questions that we're gonna have to speculate over the next 2-3 years as we wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 and
4, 5. 6.
Oh my God, it's just. It's like when you think about it, to anyone on the outside who has not played a Kingdom Hearts game, this is going to sound so convoluted.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When it comes to Kingdom Hearts, you can't just jump into a new entry. You cannot just play the games and expect to know what's going on because it's
so much.
So much to take in, and you got to play all the other games, which, like it, love it, or hate it, that you have to buy other handhelds to play these games. It's just so out there, and if you appreciate the story, you're going to like it, whereas if you don't want to get into it, then obviously you're not going to understand it. Now, Nomura said that he's trying to alleviate that, considering that there is, so much hype because of Dream Drop Distance, and now they announced 3. They're coming out with the HD collection this fall, September, actually. And he says that's going to be something to get people ready for Kingdom Hearts 3. So they're going to be going back. They're releasing the first game. They're releasing Rechain of Memories. And they're releasing the cutscene theater for 358 by 2 days. And something interesting about the HD collection was the fact that apparently Square Enix, in all of their wisdom, somehow lost the original game assets for Kingdom Hearts 1.
One of their best-selling franchises.
One of their best-selling franchises as of late. They somehow couldn't hold on to the assets. Now, I know how game development works. I know how after a while, things get deemed unworthy, and sometimes they trash it, they junk it if they don't need it again. But for Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
I understand if it's an older title that's really irrelevant that no one's ever going to touch again, but for this, that's wow. However, for the HD collection, it does look good. I mean, they said they went back and they had to essentially start from scratch, which I don't buy that for a second. They just took the code from one of the Kingdom Hearts games lying around and just did what they do for an HD remaster. So things look better. They're gonna modify it. They modified the controls so it plays a
Yeah,
lot more like the
I
recent
think two
entries.
and everything. Yeah, I saw a lot of triangle things popping up.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is press triangle and win.
Oh, that is it's reaction commands, yo. Like pretty much that's the case. I mean, I didn't mind for certain
Yeah,
attacks, like your special attacks, sure, but when you get into like the boss fights, Xehanort,
only
no, Xemnas' fight, Jesus Christ.
triangle and triangle only. No
That's
other
all you
buttons.
got to do. Just press triangle to avoid, and you spin in the air. Then you got to do that, dodge the lasers, and just.
Wait, that was X too. You had to press X as
Oh,
well.
you have to press X too. So either way, you're mashing the shit out of everything. I think there were more button prompts in freaking in that final fight than there was in all of like Asura's Wrath. Oh my gosh, it's just
That
it's.
was crazy.
But like it, love it or hate it, reaction commands. I think they work for the special attacks, but when you're getting into like the
There you go.
boss fights, they just. I don't.
In
I don't
some
like it.
parts they're okay, but it was a little bit overdone. My problem with two was you get all this stuff that makes you just so awesome and badass, but the enemies never ramp up like
Yeah.
that either. So I mean, you get all these different forms and summons and magic that's just crazy, but you just go through and do it like once or twice, and everything there is dead.
That's pretty much the case. I mean, earlier in the game, the difficulty for Kingdom Hearts, especially you playing in that Mulan level, oh my god,
Yeah,
it's difficult. But when you get all these forms, you just clean up and go to town. It's just what it is. That's why it's sort of Kingdom Hearts 2 to me was probably one of the more the least challenging games of the series because they
yeah,
just overpower you so freaking much. Now, even when you're playing on critical mode in Final Mix, I played Final Mix, played on critical mode, 1 HP. That is very challenging. Don't get me wrong, but the fact remains, it's like if you play Birth by Sleep on Proud mode, and then you go and play Kingdom Hearts 2 on Proud mode, there's just no competition.
yeah, not at all. It's crazy.
It is. Oh man, but the HD collection, I'd say I'll probably pick it up because if you pre-order it, you get an art book, and the fact that Dream Drop Distance they gave you that special edition, and just for pre-ordering this one, which I think that's a great deal. Now I'm not really too inclined to play it since I'm trying to get through other stuff, but we'll see what happens. There was a teaser at the end of that for the second remaster, which comes with most likely Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, um, Birth by Sleep,
I wonder
and
how they're gonna do it.
how would they do? What do you mean Birth by Sleep?
No, I'm just saying. I wonder if they're actually gonna put full Birth by Sleep on it, or if they're gonna do like a theater. Blah, blah, blah.
I think they have to do a theater, not theater. They have to do the game because it's just the PSP game. I mean, they could do what they did with the God of War games and just remaster
Yeah,
it.
they probably wouldn't for Dream Drop Distance
That's
though.
the thing, though. Everyone keeps saying that if they did that, I think they're not going to since it's too soon. Obviously, the
Yeah,
game just came out last year, and if we get this HD collection next year, they're not going to do that. They'll probably put a cutscene theater. However, there was another game that was teased in that ending, and nobody knows why it's in this game because it holds no relevance.
I forgot. I said that earlier, and I've already forgotten about that game because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Kingdom Hearts recoded. They're probably going to put a cutscene theater. What theater do you need for this game? What do you need? Oh my god.
They sum up that game in Dream Drop Distance. They have a little summary of each of the games. That's
Oh
all you
my.
need for that. You don't need no cutscene theater. Oh my
No
gosh.
cutscene. You don't you dare advertise
Oh,
recoded.
oh my gosh. We have this journal and it's really weird. Let's go decode what it is. I think it was the whole nominate promise thing they were trying to figure
Yeah.
out. And then they go in like, oh, so now we have Data Sora to go and take care of everything.
Oh,
So
my lord.
stupid.
I don't know why. Why? Just why? Put a cutscene theater for Dream Drop Distance, why don't you, man?
They,
I don't even care. Bottom line, recorded doesn't matter. But if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, things are looking up in terms of shiz that we got coming. Kingdom Hearts 3 coming to PS4 and Xbox One. We all know the reason why it's coming
Get
to
it on the
Xbox
Xbox
One.
One. Yeah, I'm getting on Xbox One. No, no. It needs to come out on that Wii U though.
Yeah. I honestly thought that if they wanted to do this shiz right, they would have ported the HD collection to Wii U, and it play. Oh my god, if you could play it on the tablet and only the tablet, that'd
That'd
be
be nice.
amazing. It would
But
be.
we're not even going to talk about Wii U and why they're missing out on stuff.
Yeah, we all know the
That's
reasons as to why it's missing out. And like I said, maybe things could change because, like I said, companies backtrack on their statements. Suddenly there's not a version for the game, and then now there is. So there's a small chance, a small possibility. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to say it is. I'm not going to say it isn't.
who
But yeah,
knows.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is. I got to say, like, we know almost nothing about this game in terms of basically much. We know the visual style. It looks a lot more interesting. It definitely looks a lot more different than the older entries.
Yeah.
I think I remember hearing Nomura saying that the reason as to why this one looks so different from the older games is that they wanted to replicate, I think, a sort of Disney style that they couldn't do in the other games.
Or it's because they actually decided to finally get rid of the old engine and make a new one. Because my God, they have been using this Kingdom Hearts 2 engine forever. For freaking ever.
They used it for 3 games. Leave them alone.
It's like, hey, we have new systems up. You have PS3 and Xbox 360. Let's make a new. No, we'll put it on PSP. Keep using the one from the PS2, and we'll put it on the 3DS. And keep using that engine again. Yeah, we'll just keep doing that.
Well, yeah, you know why they freaking did that? Because the handheld market in Japan and such. So
True.
we know, like, when you look at the timing of these games, it's actually. I mean, we love to complain about the fact that there's no Kingdom Hearts 3 until like 9 years later. But when you look at like the games, we had 35809, we had Birth by Sleep 2010, Dream Drop Distance in 2012. There was no Kingdom Hearts game in 2011. Stop thinking there was. Stop thinking there was. People think it came out in 2011, but it really didn't. There was no Kingdom Hearts game in 2011. No, there wasn't. There wasn't a Kingdom Hearts game. No, there wasn't.
When did not Chain of Memories? When did Recoded come out?
That doesn't exist.
It does exist. It's part of the lore.
No, it doesn't. It's not part of the lore. I don't see that show up on people's photos. I don't see them put like a friggin' damn it.
Because nobody cares.
Well, it doesn't exist, so no one cares. But anyway,
It's
I think
January 11th, 2011.
Dang it, you didn't have to say that, man. Now I have to. Oh, dang it! Now my day is ruined. But yeah, when you look at it, we've been getting Kingdom Hearts games within a steady pace, and it's been good. So I think the reason why we love to complain about this is because it's not Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm wagering we're going to see this sometime 2015 at the earliest,
Yeah, probably so. Since they're just starting development now.
Yeah. And it's being
Hopefully-
handled by the Osaka team who did the Birth by Sleep. So that's good in terms of a lot of things, actually. But
Hopefully they'll try to follow this trend of doing things worldwide releases, but yeah, right, that's not going to happen.
in terms of localization, it's getting shorter and shorter, of course, depending on the publisher. I would expect them to have at least a simultaneous worldwide release for this title, because the days of us waiting months upon months for a game to get localized, if you're a small-time publisher, I guess I can understand in terms of localization, but if you're the freaking head honcho of JRPGs, you should not be having this much of an issue.
Yeah, and everybody is so ready for it everywhere. They need to do this, especially after what they freaking did with that masterpiece, Dream Drop Distance.
They've got to do that.
Everybody is so ready because they set up so much. My gosh.
Yep. Honestly, man, I gotta say that I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts 3, but I think my hype isn't going to rise until like the year it comes out.
Yeah.
Because you know this when it comes to Kingdom Hearts games, you're excited for them, but there's always that little bit of is this gonna get delayed again, So the year it comes out, when we hear like a release window, I'm gonna start getting hyped. Nomura also stated that all of the worlds are gonna have more significance to the story, so there are gonna be no irrelevant titles that play no part in it. So
That's good.
So no Agrabah this time, hopefully.
I mean, that's the thing that I felt in the numbered games. It was a lot of the time you'd go there, it's like, okay, there's this big epic story going on that you get started in the beginning. And then you play through all these fun Disney worlds that mean nothing to the story, have little tidbits here and there. And then you get to the last world and it's actually a lot going on with the story again. It's like, oh, I get to fight with Aladdin and Tarzan and Tron. And like, but what does this have to do with the big story?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah, I'm stealing keyholes and crap.
Yeah. And Princesses of Heart are there. But I think as you've gotten more and more into the series, they've sort of alleviated that. And it's like, in Dream Drop Distance, pretty much every world has something big going on. That's why there's so like less worlds this time around. There's only like what, like 5, 6, 7 worlds in Dream Drop Distance?
6 or 7, yeah, something like that.
Around that. So I expect the same for Kingdom Hearts 3. I would love to see like more square themed worlds. Like I loved how they put in the world ends with you in this game. I want to see a Midgar world. I just do. I want to see more Final Fantasy themed worlds because I think we haven't been seeing much of them. We've been seeing.
Actually, they need a Final Fantasy themed world. There's not been one.
Yeah. They've been showing up in other worlds. Like Orin was in
Traverse Town, and they were in, yeah. And what was the other one? Radiant Garden or what was the Hollow Bastion? That's where they were as well. But yeah, other than that, no.
They haven't been there. It's been pretty much they're established to come from Radiant Garden, at least like Ares, Cloud, Tifa. Sephiroth's just there because, you know. I don't even know how everyone else comes from this place. They grew up in this place. Sephiroth, where'd you come from? Are we gonna talk about Genova? I don't even know. But yeah, it does bring in the question. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see some Pixar worlds. But when Nomura says they're gonna have ultimate importance, how much importance is the Toy Story world gonna have to the thing? Is Xehanort gonna show up in there? That'd be awkward. Xehanort's gonna take over. Xehanort's gonna take over Zurg, and he's gonna fight. Oh Jesus!
Maybe he'll take over Andy.
No, he'll take over Woody. You already know how many creepy photos of Woody there are on the internet.
Very true.
I can't. Damn it, that's gonna haunt me for the rest of my days.
Oh man.
But
yeah. yo, what about all the stuff that Disney has gotten the rights to? You know, it's not really going to happen in the game, but everybody's dreaming of like Marvel and Star Wars themed stuff. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Honestly, guys, as much as Nomura wants that, because he said like, I love to see this sort of thing, because Nomura's an imaginative guy.
Yeah.
But I just doubt that's going to happen. I think they could do something like that for the next wave of Kingdom Hearts games, because this Kingdom Hearts 3 is the finale of one storyline.
The Xehanort story. Yeah.
The Xehanort story. Whatever that means they're going to do in the future is beyond me. But I think maybe then they'll probably think around doing more different worlds. I'd personally love to see some Marvel or Star Wars thing, even as weird it will be within the realm of Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is weird regardless, so, you know, it'd be interesting. They'd have to downplay a lot of the powers in some of these characters, you know, like, especially the Marvel guys. Oh my god. It's just like you can't have them 1v 1,000 everybody and Sora's just sitting there like, can I fight too? Like,
let him fight the Juggernaut.
Oh, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah. But it's going to be crazy regardless what happens with the future of Kingdom Hearts games. We're definitely going to be keeping up to date whenever they say something about it. But man, this has been a pretty dang long discussion. But I only expected us to speak on Dream Drop Distance. But the thing is with Kingdom Hearts, you can't talk about one game without referencing what happened in the others.
Yeah, very true. And like we said, Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep, very close-knit. They have a lot to do with each other.
If anything, I think when you think about it, those are the most important games. I mean, yeah, the first two games are important, but like these games, if you don't play them, it's just like,
yeah, if you just play 1, 2, 3, like, but what is
Yeah, I'm gonna play Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and then 3, but I don't even know how they're gonna try to sum that shit up, because you gotta look at like Jiminy's Journal. As the games progress, it just gets larger and larger and larger. By the time he gets at 3, it's gonna be like a freaking tome. Oh my god. Yeah. Woo! Craziness. But I want to thank my special guest, Jamal Dunte86, Dunte60. Go subscribe to him. His link's down below in the description.
Somewhere there.
Somewhere there, unless YouTube wants to change it again.
True.
It's been on the right. It's been on the bottom. Now it's probably going to hover on the top at some point.
It'll be right in the center of the video.
It'll be right in the video. You're watching it like, I can't see the video. We'll turn it off. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching this long... Is this a long enough video? I don't know if it is.
Nah, you can go more.
Yeah, of course, you can talk about Kingdom Hearts for hours and still wrap your head around this story. Kind of crazy. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm NGS signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace.